guys, welcome back. So I posted this picture on Instagram recently and I had several people comment, so I just want to shout them out really quickly. I had holysmoke_stevie say, Swatches review tutorial please. Also, Vero Kent, do a review and tutorial please, Katie. And then lastly, Ash is the way 09, a tutorial please and thank you. So thank you guys so much for commenting and following me on Instagram. If you guys didn't know, my Instagram name is All That Fresh. I post pictures almost every day of makeup, of selfies, you guys know the deal. So today's video is all about the new Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. I actually have seen a lot of YouTubers already do tutorials and swatches on this. I believe they all got it before it even came out. I purchased this myself off of Sephora's website. I believe it came out like the 5th or the 7th or something like that. I'm actually not sure, but I ordered this online with my own money and it came within like 2 to 3 days. I was really surprised since last time I ordered from Sephora it took forever. So it's actually very similar but also very different than the first two chocolate bar palettes. This one is obviously like a totally different color. It's a beautiful pale pink. I'm not a huge pink color fan, but this one is really pretty. I do like it. Also, instead of like the squares in the front, it has little hearts because when you open it up, the shadows are all shaped as hearts, except these two. These are rectangles, but probably because you're going to use a lot of these two shades. Overall, I think the palette is great quality-wise. It's just like the first two chocolate bar palettes. The shades are really blendable. They're super pigmented. Even like for these really bright shades, they're really pigmented, and they're not chalky, they're not powdery. The matte shades, I think, are awesome. They do matte shades really well, and they're not chalky or powdery either. Overall, it's a really good palette, and I feel like the colors are just, there's a ton of different colors, and that's what I like about it. There's like a lot of diversity here. You do have like a lot of pinks, which is kind of expected. This is the Bonbons palette, but it's really pretty. I feel like a lot of people would kind of say that it's missing a matte black, but I mean, that doesn't bother me too much because I don't use a ton of black eyeshadows. But overall, I think it's really nice. I have no complaints. I think it's super cute and fun and pretty, and if you're into eyeshadows, if you're into makeup, I think you guys would really like this. And it has really good like neutral colors, and then you have your pops of color. So I think they did an awesome job on this palette. Like I said before, the swatches I'm going to do as like a voiceover, and then we're going to move on to the tutorial, which is also a voiceover. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about this palette and if you've picked it up or not. I want to know your opinions. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Snapchat because I Snapchat so many of you guys, and I also follow everybody back because I like to stalk everybody's story. Is that weird? I don't know, but at least I'm telling the truth. So let's just get into the swatches. So I'm starting off by swatching the upper left-hand corner shade called Almond Truffle, and then right underneath that we have Cashew Chew, which is a really light kind of beigey shade. Moving on underneath that is Dark Truffle, which is a really dark, kind of like neutrally brown. It's more on the warm side though. And then going on to our first rectangle shade, which is Satin Sheets, and this is actually in the Too Faced Boudoir Eyes palette, just so you guys know, just an FYI. And then underneath that, it's Cotton Candy, which is a beautiful light pink. And then underneath Cotton Candy, we have Pecan Praline, which is a nice cool tone brown. I really like that shade. And then we have Cafe au Lait, which is like a warm tone silver. And then underneath that, we have that hot pink Totally Fetch. I'm swatching the shade next to Satin Sheets, which is called Sprinkles. It's a beautiful warm tone pink. And then moving on to Bordeaux, right underneath Sprinkles, it's a warm tone brown. Underneath that, we have Earl Grey. This is a gorgeous like blue gray. I have it on my eyelids today. And then Molasses Chip, which is my favorite shade in the palette. It's so gorgeous. And then underneath that, it's called Mocha, a light warm tone brown. And then to our second rectangle shade called Divinity, which is a gorgeous brow bone highlight. And then for the last two, this one is Malted, which is a nice neutral brown, and then Black Currant. I ran out of space. This is a really pretty warm tone purple. So overall, I think the palette is, like I said, great quality. They blend well. I don't necessarily think this is a must-have. Go out and get the palette. I think this is just good if you're into makeup. If you have the money, go ahead. But like I said, it's not like the original chocolate bar palette. That's a must-have. Semi-Sweet is a must-have. This one is like, you can pass. It's not my favorite palette of life. So I hope you guys enjoyed these swatches and everything, and let's move on to the eyeshadow tutorial. So the first color that I'm picking up, it's Cashew Chew, and this is like a cooler toned, kind of like a light gray pink, I would say. And this is going right in my crease and also above, and I'm using my Sigma E40 to just blend that in there. And then I'm taking Almond Truffle, which is darker than Cashew Chew. It's a little bit more mauve as well, and this is also going right in my crease and right above. You guys know I like to layer up my transition colors. So then after that, I'm taking Mocha, which is actually on the warm tone side. It's like a light kind of warm tone brown. And I'm using an e.l.f. crease brush and then precisely putting this right into the crease. I felt like the color that I'm going to use all over my lid would blend in more if I use kind of like a warmer transition color. So I added that. And then now I'm taking Bordeaux, which is like a super warm tone kind of reddish brown. I just used a tiny bit. I didn't want to go overboard because I am using like a cooler shade for my crease, which is this one right here. It's Earl Grey. This is more like a blue gray, I would say, and this is going in my outer V, and then also I'm bringing it up right into the crease. And as always, I'm building my colors up. Once I'm done applying, a good amount of color, I then blend it out with my Sigma E25, excuse me, and then I build up again. So now onto Molasses Chip. I put this shade all over my lid. It's a beautiful goldeny bronze. And normally with Earl Grey, I probably would have used Cafe au Lait, which is like a warm tone silver. But I wanted to do like a bold, like blue and gold look rather than like blue and silver, just to like do something a little bit different, a little bit more out of the box. But it's not my favorite look ever, to be totally honest, but I'm just going to keep going with it. And I kind of wish I would have used a base for Molasses Chip just so it could pop a little bit more. So here I'm taking the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer and then the Bare Minerals Serum Concealer. I thought if I used a really dry concealer for me, which is the Urban Decay one, and if I topped it off with a very moisturizing one, it would have worked out perfectly fine, but I think I just piled on way too much concealer, as you guys could see. Like, it was a lot of concealer. So once I'm done doing that, and I cleaned up my edge, the shadows look a little bit better. I piled on some more of Earl Grey just to kind of, I don't know, make the look a little bit more bold. And then here I'm taking Cashew Chew just to make sure everything is a little bit more blended. Moving on to setting my under eyes with like packed on concealer. This is the Anastasia Contour Kit, and I'm using that pinky shade. I forgot what it's called, but it's the first one in the palette. Once that's done, of course, I'm lining my upper lash line with my Physicians Formula eyeliner in black. If you clean up your edges, all you have to do is follow that line and your your eyeliner will be good to go. It will be perfect. So now I'm using the Perversion eyeliner by Urban Decay. I swear I still haven't gotten a black drugstore eyeliner. I'm still using this one. And then I'm using L'Oreal's Telescopic mascara to just coat my lashes, and then the look is done. I actually forgot to put anything on my lower lash line, and then like during my little demo clips I piled it on, sorry, but I just used Earl Grey all over the lower lash line. So that concludes this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, it's not a must-have palette. I will be doing more looks with it though if you're interested, but I hope you guys enjoyed this look anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!